Hi everyone, Shaz here from Shaz It Up a Bit, Cut and Create It, and also our Facebook group Cricut Fans of Australia. Today I'm going to take you through a video on how to use our Cricut Mug Press. Cricut have very kindly sent me through a Cricut Mug Press ahead of time so that I can then take you through how it is that you're going to work with it. For the moment, we do have them on pre-order, so get your orders in to get them by the 1st of November. It is on pre-order at the moment from Harvey Norman and from Spotlight stores online, so you will have to go online in Victoria at least, but everywhere else you'll probably be able to go into the stores so that you'll be ready to go from day one. Now I'm going to take you through a few things that you're going to need in order to do the mugs. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so there are a few things that you're going to need. First of all, you are going to need one of these beautiful Cricut mug presses. It does get a little bit warm when you switch it on. You will need to have some ventilation, as in your window open. I've got a window open over there. A temperature that's based on the ambient room temperature that, okay, your mug press in. So now you've got the little plate down the bottom here, and that's the one that the cup actually sits on, or the mug actually sits on. I will take you through the process of setting it up. You will get a little USB cord with it, but if you are using a Mac, then you're going to need an adapter as well, okay, which you do for most things these days. The second thing that you're going to need is a easy press mat, because you're going to put your mugs on there. You will of course need some mugs. Now the one that I've got here today, I've got a couple of them here, and that is a 340 mil. You can also get it in a 425. They come in a packet of 6 or a box of 6, and they work at about, on the 340 mil, they work at about $5, I think, about $5 each. They are coated. They're a ceramic mug, but they are coated with a poly coating. So you will need to use your infusible ink, of course. I have had the question, can you use other mugs? Yes, I guess you could use other mugs. However, they will need to have that poly coating on them, or sublimation coating on them. However, the Cricut mugs have been designed to work with the Cricut Mug Press. Okay, you will need your infusible ink, and I've got mine on my mat, as you can see here. This size is the Joy size, and they do come in your regular size as well for your 12 by 12 mat, or 30.5 by 30.5 centimeter mat. And you will actually, you won't need to buy any transfer tape or sheet, and simply because you cannot use your normal transfer on this. All right, for those of you that have not used your infusible ink before, you will not use the normal transfer because it has its own transfer, okay, on the actual infusible ink sheet. Now the other thing that you're going to need is some heat transfer tape. Now it comes in a pack like this, but I would suggest that you get one of these little tape dispensers that has your normal, you know, Scotch tape in there, and place it in there. Place your tape in one of these dispensers, because I find that it's invaluable in here. It's so much easier to use than trying to find the end all of the time just on that roll itself. Okay, the other thing I did so that it doesn't wobble around inside the tape dispenser was, once I finished the tape that was in there, I actually used the inside, actually the inside of the tape, the circle in there is a lot bigger than what this one is. So all I did was then put this tape, the heat transfer tape, onto the cylinder of the previous tape, which was the sticky tape, of course, so that it doesn't sort of wobble around. Otherwise it did. It was too big to go in there. So I'd suggest that you go get one of these, or, you know, have a look through your office or your kitchen drawer and see if you've got one in there. Okay, so I found that that was invaluable. The other thing that you're going to need, of course, is some alcohol swabs. I get these from the chemist, so you might be able to get some there. You can also use isocol on your mug, and that is so that you can completely clean your mug on the outside. And then, of course, you're going to need a lint. Oh, what do they call these things? Lint roller. Lint roller. That's it. A lint roller that's going to go around the mug and get off any of the, you know, all the little hairs that you've got. If you've got a dog or a cat, you know, you tend to pick up even like dust pieces. You tend to pick up everything these days, all right? And this will actually remove them from the mug. Sometimes you don't even see them, but they, you know, they usually are there. And then that way you'll have a nice clean finish to it. All right, so I'm just going to take you through to Design Space right now. And that is that I have chosen this particular Doing the Best I Can mug. I'm going to get 2 of these out of the one because the blue lower part will go on the pink upper part, and then the other way around, the pink lower part will go on the blue upper part, and that is just after you cut them. You can then place them together. This is a project in Design Space itself. I just went simply to projects over in Design Space, and I just typed in mug there like that. And then I just simply scrolled down through the projects here. There are plenty here that you can then just do straight off the projects. And I just scrolled down until I found one that I liked. And just scrolling down here, you'll find that a few more come up. And you've also got your cups and mugs here for the premium permanent vinyl. But this is the one that I chose here, Doing the Best I Can mug. And also I wanted to show you, there's another one up here where I can show you that there are different sizes that you can go through with your mugs. It's this one here. It's a mug design setup that Cricut have done, and some of the ladies here I think have done as well, Cricut Australia. And what you'll have is that you will have different kind of edges that finish down here near the handle. So when you go into this, you'll find that if you go into the customize, I'll just show you quickly. You go into the customize and you can change anything you like, but if you look here, you can see that there are all different types of edges that finish at your handle. So instead of being straight, like a straight edge, you can then come up with like a scalloped edge. Let's see, you've got a scalloped edge on a 425. You have to be aware of what size mug you're using. So I would be using, say, the 340 mils. So you can see that this has got a scalloped edge on it. So possibly that would be the one that I would pick, and there's all different ones that you can choose there. Okay, so just wanted to show you that little bit into Design Space. And then also on the sides here, you've got these little tabs here which will end up being your transfer. All right, so the self-transfer that is on that is on your infusible ink will have it'll kiss cut on the infusible ink to the transfer. So then this will cut out, and then this will serve as sticking onto your mug. Okay, so it'll help to do that. Now the next thing I want to show you is that when you first get your mug press, what you'll want to do is to go to your hamburger menu up here, and then you'll go to the new product setup. Okay, so going into the new product setup, you can then go to the heat press over here, and then you will simply click on your Cricut Mug Press. You will use your USB cable that came with it. Just waiting for the picture to come up. as it says, you'll use on a heat resistant surface in a well ventilated area. Okay, and then this is where you will register it. Okay, so you will then continue, etc. Plug it in. It will do the registration for you, etc., etc. And then you will have your mug press ready to go. Okay, so that's where you go to set up your mug press. And that will be in your burger menu, remember? So remember where that is. That's the 3 lines. Yes, I do want to exit because I've already done mine. It will be the 3 lines that are up here. Okay, so I'm going to cut my designs out, and then I'll simply come back and then we shall put it together. Okay, so I'll be back in a few minutes. So now I've got my sheets, and I'm just going to weed these eyes out of the blue that I've got here. You'll hear it cracking. When you hear it cracking, you know that you can then just peel. If you've got tiny little pieces like I have at the bottom of this down here, then you can use you know, your weeding tool to help you keep like the inner of the E and the inner of the O, etc. But I've now taken out those holes there, and what I need to do is transfer that onto this one. I'm going to peel it off. And I'm keeping my ends on here because I need to see just exactly how far I need to go. I need to go down. So I have weeded out these little tiny pieces that make up the actual words. So I've done that. So now I'm going to take these ones out. Because then this one will go on the bottom of the other one. So this particular design. Right, so now that one will go on there, and this one, just change this over, and now this one will go onto this one here. Now if you get a few little white bits down there, don't worry about that, because what happens with those little white bits is that it is not as it's deeper than the actual infusible ink, so that means that the infusible ink will go onto the mug first before you've actually got any you know, anything reaches those little white pieces. So now I just need to make sure I've got that in the right spot. And pop that one down. I don't want to have a crease line in between these, is all. Right. So now then you take your ends off. I might turn that up the other way and see if that makes a difference. See if that is perfectly aligned there. Yeah. Okay, so take the ends off, because then these ends that you've got on the transfer there are going to go around your mug. So now I have my mug and I've prepared it. Don't forget to use your lint roller around the mug after you have wiped it with your alcohol wipe. Just going to switch that back on. Now, a good rule of thumb is to have the handle facing you, and then you just sort of eyeball it across so that we get the center and you are going to put this one. This one's a little bit big for the next mug up. So I want you to get the design. I don't have a bigger mug here, but that's okay. That means it'll go right up to the top. And just look to see that you've got these level on either side, that it's level at the bottom. So you get one and place your finger just like that and smooth it out. Right, and then grab the other side and just sort of pull it firmly. Keep it flush to the bottom so that you get a nice edge on it at the bottom. Smooth it out with your hand. Now if you're doing it so that it's only on one side of the mug, then what you've got to remember is the person left or right-handed? So if the person is right-handed, you would have it facing to the left of the hand. If they're left-handed, you would have it facing to the right of the hand so that people see it. Otherwise it will be on the other side when they're drinking out of it. Okay, so, and then once you've got that there, this is where you then want to place some of your heat transfer tape. You can place that just across there to hold it together. I have seen people that you know, have put it all over. Now when you're placing the mug into the mug press, you're going to put it in on an angle. So rather than just straight up and down, you are going to put it into an angle like that and then place it into the mug press. Mine just went off, so I needed it just to heat up a little bit more. If you've got any little pieces left over, you might have some little scraps left over like that, then you can always use those with snap mat in design space, and then that way, you know, you might get an S out of there or a B out of there for an initial for somebody. You might get some stars or things like that out of it. So, you know, if you're not into keeping your scraps, then, you know, there's no point. But for anybody that is, then don't throw those away. I do have a class that's coming up shortly, so I just needed to get this done before I do the class. So then you've simply got your Cricut Mug Press like that. It's very simple to use. As I said earlier, you want to put it in on an angle like so, like this, and let it drop down. Make sure that you have your handle, which is in the center of where you're going to have your, where it's going to close, and then you just simply close the lid like so, and then we just wait. And then what we do is the buttons will turn white over here. You've got it flashing, and as it's actually heating, it's flashing. So once it's finished flashing, it'll go to the next little button along, and then once it gets to the last one, that's when we will take the mug out. So I will come back after that's done. Now it's on the last button, or the last light there. It lights up as it's doing. It's flashing there at the moment, as you can see. You can see that there flashing. And then it just beeped, and they're all flashing now, and it's telling me that it's ready to lift up. So I lift this up here, and then I can actually take the cup out now, out of the mug press, but it is very hot, as you can see, right? But also, it means that the handle's not hot. So you just want to wait. And I haven't done this before, so I'm going to wait for a while for that. I'm definitely not going to touch it yet, but I'm just going to take this off. The cup it's just warm now, it's not actually hot, so I'm just going to take that off there like that, and we will have the big reveal. How's that? Wow, look at that. Got a little bit of paper there, but how is that? Isn't that gorgeous? It's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled. I think it's fabulous. So there you have it, you know, doing the best I can. And yes, as I said, I hadn't done this one before, but yeah, I'm very thrilled with the way that it's turned out. It's absolutely so easy to do. So get yourselves one of these mug presses, everyone, and you're going to have lots of fun doing lots of personalized mugs for lots of family and friends, I gather, for Christmas. Christmas is only like a couple of months away, so yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun with this. Absolutely a lot of fun, and I just think that it's fantastic. So with that in mind, we are doing the best that we can. So thanks very much for joining me today and learning about the Cricut Mug Press, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye bye.